Hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will discuss a serial killer. This person is someone many of us know, Ted Bundy. You've probably heard of Ted Bundy. He was known as very attractive and charismatic, but behind that charming face was a demon, a serial killer. Before we dive into the video, a small reminder. If you are new to my channel or have visited before but haven't subscribed yet, please hit the red subscribe button below. I would love to see you among us. Ted Bundy was born on November 24th, 1946. His mother, Louise, was 22 when she became pregnant with Ted. His father's identity was unknown, which had a significant impact on Ted's experiences and actions later in life. After he was born, his mother moved in with her family, and all four of them lived together. Interestingly, Ted was introduced to his grandparents as his parents, and his mother was presented as his sister. His grandfather, whom Ted believed to be his father, was aggressive and had violent tendencies. At age 5, Ted moved with his mother to Washington. There, his mother met a man named Johnny Bond, with whom she had 2 daughters and 2 sons. Ted's childhood had strange aspects. From a young age, he showed tendencies toward violence and even murder. One incident involved his aunt waking up to find herself surrounded by knives taken from the kitchen, and Ted had been responsible. Ted was a solitary child who was not very social and generally kept to himself. At school, he was bullied, yet he was highly intelligent. Learning that his father's identity was uncertain caused him to emotionally distance himself even more from his family. During his teenage years, Ted also engaged in theft, stealing from people and developing an interest in skiing and ski equipment. He graduated from high school in 1965 and initially attended a university in Washington, later transferring to the University of Washington. There, he had his first serious relationship. He fell deeply in love with Stephanie Brooks. Ted believed he would be with her for the rest of his life. But in 1968, Stephanie decided to end the relationship. This affected Ted deeply and marked the beginning of his psychological decline. He started harboring an enduring grudge against Stephanie and began obsessively watching women, especially in their dorm rooms, while they were dressing. In the fall of 1969, Ted met Elizabeth Cloffer. She was genuinely trying to guide him toward a better life and approached him sincerely. Ted, however, lied about his past and didn't reveal the darker aspects of his life, wanting a normal life with her. Elizabeth had a young daughter, and Ted wanted to form a family life while hiding most of his history. Their relationship was serious, and they even introduced each other to their families. Around this time, Ted graduated from the university with a psychology degree and began working in drug delivery. In 1973, Ted entered law school. His former lover, Stephanie, noticed his success and wanted to get back together. Ted accepted her return, but his intentions were not what they seemed. While Stephanie wanted a serious relationship, Ted was plotting revenge, intending to make her suffer as he had. He made Stephanie fall in love with him again, proposed marriage, and shortly after broke up with her, all while still being in a relationship with Elizabeth. Ted was highly attractive and charismatic, easily loved and admired by everyone. Now let's get to the main events, the murders. In January 1974, Ted committed his first murder. The victim was an 18-year-old student named Karen Sparks. Ted entered her dorm room while she was sleeping, struck her on the head to render her unconscious, and raped her. Karen survived, but remained disabled for life. On January 21, 1974, he committed his second murder. The victim was 21-year-old Ann Haley. Ann was spending the evening with friends and later returned home. Several girls shared the house, and Ann's room was in the basement. The front door was usually left open because some girls didn't have keys. Ted entered the room while they slept, struck her on the head until she was unconscious, and then killed her. This went unnoticed that night. Ted's third victim was 19-year-old Donna Gail Wilson, a free-spirited girl who often stayed out late and hitchhiked. On March 12th, she planned to attend a jazz concert but encountered Ted on the way. After that, she was never seen again. Next, Ted targeted Kathleen, who worked at the university library. After she left work and entered the parking lot, Ted, disguised as a student, asked her for help carrying books. Kathleen felt uneasy and ran away, angering Ted. That same night, he encountered another girl named Suzanne, who was just trying to get back to her dorm. She was never seen again. A pattern emerges with Ted's victims. They all resembled his ex, Stephanie. His grudge against Stephanie drove him to target women who reminded him of her. Ted then moved to Oregon and killed Roberta Parks, a young woman out for a walk after arguing with her boyfriend. He killed Brenda Carroll Ball, who was hitchhiking, and Georgine Hawking, who had helped him carry her belongings while leaving a party. Georgine became significant because she left behind evidence. Her earrings and shoe were found at the scene. Ted moved to Seattle, where he killed Janice Ann Ott on a beach during the day, his first daylight murder. After killing Janice, he continued searching for another victim and encountered Denise. Both were seen leaving the beach together, and Denise was never seen again. After these events, the police started investigating. Daylight murders made it easier for witnesses to provide descriptions. Ted later moved to Salt Lake City, Utah, and just 3 days after his arrival, Janice and Denise's bodies were found. In Salt Lake City, he killed 4 more women. 2 of them, Melissa and Leahy, were kept for sexual gratification. He washed, dressed, and applied makeup to their bodies. During this time, Elizabeth was reading newspapers and began to suspect Ted. She gave tips to the police, suggesting he might be responsible, but they initially ignored her. Ted then moved to Colorado and killed Kathleen Eileen Campbell. She was at a hotel with her husband and children and encountered Ted in the elevator. Ted returned to Colorado in July and killed another woman, disguised as a disabled man needing help with ski equipment. She was never seen again. By this point, he had committed murders in Colorado, Washington, and Oregon, and the police suspected they were connected but had not yet identified the perpetrator. In Idaho, Ted encountered a man who confronted him, telling him to leave. This angered Ted. On the way back to his hotel, he encountered a 12-year-old girl named Lynette Calver. Witnesses saw him convincing her to get into his car, and he took her to his hotel and drowned her in the bathroom. On August 16, 1975, Ted was smoking marijuana in his car when a police officer stopped him. He initially tried to escape. When arrested, police searched his car and found ski equipment, handcuffs, and ropes. He wasn't charged at that time due to insufficient evidence. Eventually, a surviving victim helped identify Ted, and evidence from his car linked him to multiple crimes. He was arrested but released on $15,000 bail posted by his mother. Ted returned to Seattle, where he faced 1 to 6 years of prison time for attacks on women who had survived. Even in jail, many believed he was innocent due to his charm, and he received special treatment. Ted requested library access in prison, and during this, his mother was researching his case. Ted attempted a daring escape by jumping from the library's second floor. 6 days later, he was recaptured. He later escaped again through a hole in his cell ceiling and remained undetected for 17 hours. He eventually went to Chicago, but felt the urge to kill return and went to Florida. In Florida, Ted continued his attacks, killing 2 women, Lisa and Cheryl. Lisa had bite marks, which became critical evidence. He also killed 12-year-old Kimberly. He was caught while attempting to steal a van and was found with fake IDs and credit cards. Upon arrest, Ted refused to talk until given 2 hours of phone time, which he used to call Elizabeth, apologizing for his actions. Ted was sentenced to death and executed in the electric chair in Florida on January 24, 1989. Ted Bundy engaged in necrophilia, keeping corpses, repeatedly raping them, and only discarding them when decomposition or animals made it impossible to continue. He sought complete control over his victims. He admitted to eating parts of some victims, thinking it would make them a part of him. In his apartment, he had Polaroid photos of victims, sometimes even body parts. He also loved biting his victims and treated killing like a sport, even training beforehand. To Ted Bundy, his victims were just toys, and he was never satisfied. That concludes today's video. If you want me to cover other serial killers, leave their names in the comments. I read all comments and respond to them. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe below. See you in the next video. Goodbye.